Hi, I'm Vareen, a curious explorer of the intricate landscape of the human mind and behaviors, and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where I unravel the mysteries behind the incongruous thoughts that pepper our everyday existence. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ink Thoughts podcast. Hope everyone has been doing well. So today, we're diving into something that I think many of us need to hear from time to time. It's okay if you don't have all the answers figured out yet. Maybe you're in school trying to pick the right subjects or deciding on your next career move, like myself. Maybe you're figuring out relationships, your passions, or even just who you are as a person. Whatever it is, there's this pressure to have everything sorted out, right? But here's the truth, you don't have to have it all figured out, and that's okay. I think we all live in a world that thrives on certainty. We're surrounded by social media posts where people seem to have perfect lives, perfect careers, perfect relationships. You scroll through and it feels like everyone's got it all together, except you. But here's the thing we tend to forget. Social media is a highlight reel, not the full story. No one is posting about the times they doubted themselves or when they didn't have a clue what to do next. But guess what? Everyone, and I mean everyone, goes through moments of uncertainty. I think there's a power in embracing the unknown and letting yourself be in that space of I don't know yet. It's where growth happens. It's where you learn about yourself and the world in ways you have never imagined. Of course, don't get me wrong, I'm not asking you to sit there all day long and do nothing. The keyword here is yet. What I meant was try your very best, and sometimes for certain things, the best way might be you just have to sit with the uncertainties for a bit. I want to share a quick personal story here, which is the reason that inspired me to reflect on today's episode. If you've been here for a while, you know that I'm currently living in the UK, living away from my family and friends, away from my comfort zone. And living abroad just makes the adulting experience even more, I wouldn't say difficult, but you just have to figure everything out by yourself, and kid you not, most of the time problems don't come one by one. They tend to come all at once, which makes you feel kind of lost. And at this age, although I clearly know that I shouldn't be comparing myself to others, but sometimes you just can't help but do it unconsciously and end up finding myself questioning myself. What am I even doing here? Well, I'll say I'm an aspiring psychologist, and I tend to compare my friends who are in Malaysia who nearly got qualified now. Of course, that is due to the different system that different countries use for qualification, and I tend to compare myself to my friends who are my age but in different fields too. I do find myself questioning myself like, why did I even choose a pathway that is not only difficult to navigate and at the same time not earning much? Of course, I'll say I have enough to support myself here in the UK, but to save enough money for pursuing the next stage of life, that is probably not that easy. I felt so much pressure to have a plan, to know exactly what I was going to do next. But the truth was, I had no idea, and it freaked me out. I thought, what if I make the wrong choice? What if I waste time? I'm already 25 now. What if I never figure it out? I was caught in this spiral of uncertainty. I then noticed myself under this constant stress that is not doing any good to myself. I'm not happy. And that is when I realized, wait, stop a minute, and took a step back and look at everything. I probably wouldn't be able to solve them all right away. And so I gave myself the permission to not have it all figured out at this moment. I'm not saying like I ignore it at all. I'm just saying that I give it some time. It's okay if I don't figure it out at this moment. And here's what happened. When I stopped trying to force the answers. I allow myself to explore different options. And over time, clarity came. Not all at once, but in small pieces. Each step led me to the next, and eventually I found a path that felt right for me. Maybe you're feeling lost right now, and that's perfectly okay. It doesn't mean you're falling behind. It doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're on your journey. And every step you're taking, even the uncertain ones, is part of that journey. You're growing, you're learning, and you're becoming the person you're meant to be. Think about it. Some of the most successful and inspiring people didn't have everything figured out from the very start. People like maybe Steve Jobs, even J.K. Rowling, all of them faced times where they were unsure of their next move. But they embraced the uncertainty and used it to fuel their growth. So, how do we get comfortable with not having all the answers then? Here are a few things that I've learned. Well, first thing is easy said than done. Stop comparing your journey to others. Everyone's path is different. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's okay. Give yourself permission to take your own time. And do it your way if you need it. Next, be curious, not afraid. Instead of fearing the unknown, approach it with curiosity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Curiosity opens up possibilities that fear tries to close down. Then trust the process. Even if you don't have a clear plan, trust that you're on the right path. You figure things out as you go. Remember, life isn't a straight line. It's more like a winding road with lots of detours. And that's what makes it interesting. Then seek support when needed. This is important. It is okay to reach out to friends, mentors, or even professional guidance. Sometimes we just need a sounding board to help us see things from a new perspective. That is also why I love learning about different people's experiences. That just widen up my horizons and allow me to look at things from different perspectives, which usually is very, very interesting. Lastly, be patient with yourself. Change does take time. Growth takes time too. Don't rush the process. As long as you know that you're doing something, you're on the right path, you're on that path itself, then it's alright. So, to everyone out there who feels like they're stuck in the unknown, remember, you don't have to have all the answers right now. In fact, sometimes the best thing you can do is allow yourself to not know, to explore, to take small steps and trust that in time, things will fall into place. You are not behind. You are not lost. You're exactly where you need to be, and in time, the answers will come. So give yourself the grace to be in this moment and trust that you're enough just as you are right now. And do whatever that you needed to do in this moment. Thank you so much for listening today. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to reach out on social media or leave a comment down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who might need to hear this message too. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, it is okay if you don't have it all figured out yet. You've got this. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed it, do like and share it with your friends and family and drop me a comment on YouTube. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave me a review. If you're on Spotify, please rate my show. Alternatively, any questions or feedback, feel free to email me at hello@incthoughts.com or send me a private message on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter with the username of IncThoughtsPod. Thanks again and catch you all next week.